With Gavin Macpherson after our latest result, a 1-0 home defeat against Hornchurch. Gavin, your thoughts generally on the game, please?
I thought it was poor, probably the poorest first half I've seen in a long time from us. That takes into consideration last season. I didn't think we got to grips with that at all. Shape wasn't good. We had to tweak it at half time. And I think, you know, although they weren't clear-cut chances that they were having necessarily, I thought we defended quite well at times. It was an unacceptable first half from us. And what we saw was actually a perfectly acceptable second half, other than putting the ball in the net and not conceding one. I thought it was a very even second half. And you know, on another day we might have scored one or two, and it could have been different. But I think they would argue that, you know, they could have been, you know, on the possession stats in the first half. You know, they would have expected to have at least been up in the game.
Yeah, we seemed to get bogged down in the first half without any sort of outlet. Gav, you wanted more quality, you didn't get it in that first half. What's the reason for that, do you think?
I think again we wasted the possession, what little possession we had, and I think we didn't secure the ball enough when we did have it. I just felt it looked disjointed. We looked lacking in running power, and I just thought they were sharper and quicker to everything than us. But a little tweak at half time in regard to shape and a bit of a kick up the backside, and you see a different Enfield. And I think, you know, whether we deserve to be 0-0 at half time is immaterial. We're probably unlucky to lose the game in the second half.
Yeah, talking of tweaks, you pushed Billy up after half time. It worked a treat for long periods, as you say, much more of an even game. It's such a shame though that with the first half we weren't quite didn't quite have the quality that we did in the second half.
No, and you know, I apologise really to the supporters if I haven't watched that first half. It's just not acceptable, by a country mile. But you know, you've got to give credit to Church. We found a way again. We keep finding a way, and that's not a fluke. So keep finding that, you know, maybe, you know, we've got to find a bit more than that. We've got to find that sort of thing for ourselves, that sort of spirit. So, you know, all in all, we're obviously disappointed with the result. There's no question. Didn't deserve to be 0-0 at half time. We probably deserved to be behind, but we weren't. And I thought the second half showed a spirited performance, with chances, and Mickey's one at the end, you know, should go in, but you know, it hasn't, and you know, we have to walk away and look at the good bits, and have a look at plenty of the not so good bits.
Yeah, you used a word that I was just about to use as well, Gavin, a spirit in the second half. Do you think overall the second half display should have earned us a draw at least?
Well, look, we have chances, you know, and you know, and so do they. You know, lots of their chances are sort of scrambles in the box and stuff like that. But so I'm not suggesting that overall we've been on top in that game. But what I'm suggesting is the second half was a massive improvement on the first half, and on another day you might just nick something and win the game. You know, it's a set piece that's cost us in the second phase, and you know, that's just how it is. It's a terrible saying, but it's small margins sometimes.
Just a couple more. Having made the tweak at half time, you with about 20 minutes to go, you took off both Lamar and Tommy, leaving us without an orthodox striker, and yet you could argue it was our best period of the game. What was the thinking behind that? Was that with Saturday in mind?
No, not necessarily. I felt that there looks to be some tired legs out there. And I felt that you know, Matty, as an attacking-minded player, can give us something different in that respect. You know, they're a big, strong back three there, and you know, they were happy to go up against Tommy. So coming up against a Matty in a sort of a more forward area is something different to worry about, because we had to change the narrative. That's as simple as it was. I can't accept the first half and go, do you know what, boys, that's acceptable, and we'll go out. We had to change something. We had to change the narrative. We had to make a little tweak and start, and then make a change in personnel. And you know, I've sort of gone in there and said to the lads, you know, I can't fault them in respect of certainly from the second half situation, because we addressed the first half at half time, so I can only really address the second half. But we've lost, and we don't like losing. and we'll need to be better about what we're doing.
You don't like losing, especially at home. You've always said. What 1 point from 3 games? You always said it's a hell of a difficult start in terms of the teams we are coming up against. You've got another one coming up on Saturday. You could argue at Worthing. I mean, the games don't get any easier, do they, Gavin?
No, not at all. It'll be a different game, different sort of side to play against. But I felt that we never feel that we can't get anything from any game, especially here. So unfortunately, at the moment, we would have hoped to have taken something from tonight, if I'm honest. Torquay was obviously always going to be difficult, especially with the personnel. Saturday was always going to be difficult, and we were quietly pleased with that. And you would hope to have taken something from tonight, but we haven't. We've fallen the wrong side of it, and now we go to Worthing with a game plan, with a will that we can go and win the game. There's never anything, there's never playing for draws in that respect. We'll work ourselves out against a very difficult side, a side that moves the ball very well, and it'll be a different sort of game to what we had tonight.
Back to back, we've got Tottenham 2 days later, back here.
Horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. It's it's a horrible schedule. I think this time last year we were licking our wounds after Slough. We're not quite in that bracket tonight, although the result is the same. And then I think we went Truro and Hemel in a weekend, if I remember rightly. So it's slightly easier on us, but the games are thick and fast, difficult, and the lads, we can't sit there and think that I feel a bit sorry for myself. No chance. We've got to man up and we've got to get on with it, because the supporters expect us here to be picking up points. I expect us to be picking up points here, and we're falling short.
And just sorry, Gavin. Just very lastly, one as well as 1 point from 3 games, 1 goal in 3 games. It's much too early to sort of come to any conclusions. But does that concern you at all, given the strike force we now have?
Well, it concerns me that we are creating chances. When we look at the stats at Torquay, Saturday was a bit damper, I thought, but we've created a few tonight. It's not been totally devoid of chances, and we don't seem to be taking them at the moment, or some might argue falling to the wrong people. So yes, of course, it's a massive concern, because you've got to score goals to win football matches, which is a stupid thing to say. We're not going to keep games to a 0. So just having a 0 in our favour is not something we've set out to do.
Well, onwards and upwards, and good luck Saturday, Gav. Thanks very much.